Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Video Games back with yet another video of a cool arcade game that we're working on that we just finished up. We've been doing a lot of pinball machines lately. As you can see, we've got pinball machines all over the front of the room. This one, though, we just finished up. It's really cool. This is Williams' Laser Cue. Came out in 1984. It's like a futuristic pool game. Kind of strange, but we'd never played it before, so we decided to make it do what it do. So figured we'd shoot a little video if you haven't seen this one before. This came out in 1984. I like the cabinet. It's just kind of plain artwork, kind of similar to like the Firepower cabinet, but I think Firepower came out much earlier. This is a Williams System 7. And this particular one's in pretty good shape. It's not mint or anything like that, but I think it looks pretty good, especially after we serviced it. Look at that. It's got a nice light show. A lot of the early games, this was 84, a lot of the games, you know, in the late 70s and early 80s, they didn't do anything tricky with the lights. Some of them even, I think it's mostly the Gottliebs, some of them even, whenever they're in attract mode, none of the lights even come on. They just, the playfield's just, all the lights are turned off. This one, you can see how it's doing swirls, and it does a really cool wash of the playfield. Almost all the newer games do that now, or I'm sure all of them do, but back then that was kind of neat. It would attract your attention over to it, so maybe you would drop in a quarter. Kind of neat. So anyway, the back glass is, we'll just say, interesting. Who knows what's going on? This was, again, 1984. That's a much different time than we live in now. So it appears that what you have going on is a game of pool in space. So you got this guy. And this is his pool cue, which is like a laser. And so he's hitting the pool ball. And then you got this guy. I guess he's waiting his turn. There's his pool cue, I guess. And then you got this guy with his pool cue way up there, leaning over the table, and they're flying because it's in space. And it kind of looks like it's made out of crystal or something. And then all around it you've got these ice crystals or something going on, who knows. Interesting. But it looks pretty good, and this particular one's in nice shape. There was a little area of it that was messed up that we retouched, but I won't tell you where it is. So maybe you can figure it out. But anyway, the displays on these were horrible. The displays were just, we try to fix, like I'm working on this Meteor right now, we're fixing displays right now. But the displays on this one, folks, were just destroyed. I mean, would barely light up and had burnt marks all over them, so we went ahead and bit the bullet and just got brand new displays. So these are LED displays. These are the ones made by Rotten Dog for their System 7 and System 9 games, Williams System 7 and System 9 games, and they did a really good job, really. I mean, they look very, very close to exactly how the original ones looked, but since they're LED, they only use the 5-volt line. The original ones used the 5-volt line and the I think it was 100, there's a high voltage 100 line and a negative 100 line, so I guess the high voltage unit, you don't even need it to work if you buy these replacement displays. But they came out really nice. We think they look good, and we would recommend them to anybody if anybody's looking for new displays for their System 7 or System 9 Williams. Go ahead and check out the Rotten Dog ones. You will not be disappointed. So here's the play field. In the 80s, once it got to a certain little time period there, they started going all out on the play fields and just having art everywhere. So this one's no exception. And again, it's like a space pool theme. It's kind of confusing, but you know, they weren't really, you know, they're just having a good time making a crazy pinball machine. Making pool advances the multipliers. So you've got this huge kind of space scene going on. Lots of black in the background, which is not really a good thing on a pinball machine, because on one of this vintage it starts getting a lot of wear that's very noticeable on the black. So for instance, if you look at this part right here, see the planking? If I let the light hit it there, see how it's got like a little texture to it. That is not optimum. But it's old, folks. It plays good, so really I guess it doesn't matter. You've got pool balls all over the place. Certain little shots that you want to make. You've got 5 drop targets in the middle, and they're memory targets, which are the cool ones where it can drop them. It can reset all of them, or it can drop all of them. Or I think the way they did this was it could drop all of them, or it can reset specific ones one at a time. That's how Williams did it. So you'll see that whenever I play it. There's a little spinner target over here. 3 pop bumpers. And these Williams ones, the pop bumpers are a little smaller than on most of the other machines, which is kind of strange. They're even smaller than the Williams ones were before. It's just the body of them smaller. The top looks the same, but if you take it apart, you'll see it. And it's got this really cool shot all the way up here. This is the 8-ball shot. So you can make a shot from this flipper all the way up the playfield, around that corner, bam, and hit that shot. That's a good one. So there you go. Lots of art. You got one big guy here right on the front that's like he's going for the 8-ball with his laser cue. Laser cue. Alright, so that's that. Let's look at the score. I mean the instructions, shall we? Laser cue. Shoot for the flashing balls. So basically, some of them will flash, and these drop targets will flash in order. So usually, I've got it set on 3-ball. I don't know if it's different if you set it on 5-ball. I might have to look into that. But the 1 will be flashing first. All of them will be up, but the 1 will be flashing. So they want you to hit the first one first. If you hit them out of order, it'll reset and make you do it again, which is pretty cool. Shoot for flashing balls. Completing the rack of all 15 balls lights the 8-ball target for extra ball. So this, of course, being the 8-ball target, that crazy shot I was talking about where you hit the target up there, bam, it'll light up that extra ball when lit light. You've also got a flipper up here that can kind of make that shot. Depending on how the ball's bouncing around, sometimes you can just hold that flipper up and it'll catch the ball right there, and then you have the shot. Alright, making ball lights the next ball on the 1 through 15, whatever ball you're at, and the spinner. So you've got B, A, L, and L, up by the pop bumpers. Lots of stand-up targets. Bonus score. No, making pool. Making pool advances the bonus multiplier and spots a letter in ball. So right here it says making pool advances the multiplier. So that's your multiplier. So at the end of each ball, whatever your score is, it'll count it twice. If you're about times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 7, times 10, times 15, times 20. Or not really your score, but the bonus score. It will count twice. And so the way you do that is you make pool. Well, the way you make pool is the 4 rollover lanes at the top. This one's kind of funky, goes off to the side a little bit. And so if you make this spinner shot while you're playing, it'll come up, go through this gate, and then you have to go down one of these 4 because it can't go back out that gate, and it can't go out that gate. So making pool advances the bonus multiplier and spots a letter in ball. And again, you're trying to make ball to light the next ball and the spinner. Bonus score, number of balls made times the highest lit multiplier. And again, there's your lit multipliers. Advancing the bonus multiplier to times 10 lights special. Special when lit. special inlet, and I think that's the only two. One replay for each score you beat in the displays. So on the displays, it shows you the top 4 scores so far. Pretty cool. It's a fun little game. It's kind of got this neat figure 8 shot out of the shooter, which you have to adjust it to make it actually do it, but we got it adjusted. So basically this ball comes out, makes this sharp turn right in the middle of the playfield, shoots across the playfield, comes up here, ends up hitting the side, and then rolls up to the top to the thing if you hit it hard enough. So, neat little game. I will get the tripod, we'll set it up, we'll play a couple games. This one has unique electronic sounds, and it also has a bell in it, which is kind of interesting. So, we'll hear how that goes. All right, check out that light show. As usual, there is not a perfect way to film this, but here we go. We'll play it a little bit, and I'm just going to play through a little bit so you can just see how the ball flows and stuff. Probably the most interesting thing is whenever you shoot the ball, it launches out this way and then does a figure 8 up at the top. It's kind of hard to get those, you have to get those aimed just right so that it actually makes it all the way up. It's also got lane change at the top, so see how that one, whoop. I don't think that switch worked at all. Oh yeah, it did. I guess I just didn't see it. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, but the drop targets you have to hit in order. Oop. And that little bell rings every time that that little bell rings every time you hit the right drop target down. It's got pretty decent flow to it, and I love the sound. The reason that it's resetting those targets is because I'm not supposed to be hitting them. I'm supposed to be hitting the 6 over here on the left. See how it's flashing? Because it's next in line. Ooh, it's a hard shot though, because it's kind of wide. Oh, missed it. So that bell, it actually has a physical bell down on the bottom of the cabinet. Okay, so now I'm on the 7, which is on the right. Oh, man, that's gonna be that. Listen to how the sound goes. It just ain't gonna give up. Eventually it stops, I promise. Oop. That O, it's not rolling through quite right. The switch isn't working right on that O. Oh, right down the middle. Right down the middle again. We'll play one more. Yeah, that one. See how it didn't actually do anything? That's a simple adjustment. We'll fix that here in a little bit. I keep hitting the 3 instead of the 2. Oh, there's also a flipper right right there I keep forgetting about. It's probably hard to see because of the glare, but just to the just behind the drop targets to the right of the bottom pop bumper, there's a miniature flipper that works with your left flipper button. Oh man, there's my 3. So yeah, it's got a soundboard, and then it's also got there's a physical bell down in the bottom that's kind of like an old doorbell. That that actually rings if you hit the right pull ball. Like that. Oh, it's not a bad first ball though. It keeps going down the same one. Ow. Well, there we go. So there you have it. Williams' incredibly long-winded laser cue. I think it'll keep doing that for like 2 minutes or something. It keeps like decreasing and falling and falling and falling and falling, but it never quite gets all the way down. Awesome. By the time you see this video, we may not even have Mr. Laser Cue in the shop anymore. It may have already sold. Because it is pretty fun. And people like pool themes, even if it's kind of out of the box one like this, where it's like a futuristic thing. But whenever you're seeing this video, even if it's years from now, you can see what we do have in stock as of right now by checking out our website. There it is, it stopped. So you can go to lionsarcade.com and see what we've got available right now. We keep that real up to date. We just updated it a couple minutes ago, actually. Or you can stop by and see us. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 minutes south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've got a whole bunch of games we're always working on. We just finished up this Tekken arcade game, for instance, just a few minutes ago. That's what we were updating on the website. And if you're not in the area, if you can't make it by, and if you're not even looking to buy an arcade game, just subscribe to us here on YouTube. We're going to be putting up tons more videos. Every time we get something interesting finished up, we film a little video of it just to show everybody what these things were like back in the day and how cool they can be even after all these years. So we will see you next video.